Welcome to Doug in Exile. Shout out to the Quad Club, the people that watch all 4 videos inside of 3 videos every day. So confusing, but welcome, guys. Update on the auto pen scandal and lots more news this episode. The auto pen scandal, Joe Biden was much worse than we thought he was. Check this out. He didn't even recognize Chuck Schumer.
Fox Digital was investigating the auto pen ordeal, and they uncovered these 5, what they're calling palm cards. They're cards that Joe Biden could hold in the palm of his hand.
Which, by the way, is common. Some people do that.
Okay, well, on these cards, you have names and photos of high-profile Democrats. Usually, if someone does this, you're walking in a room, you've never met these people. Right. These are people who he knows very well, like Hillary Clinton,
Hillary Clinton down there on the bottom. This is the actual palm card that they would give him to remember lists of names. Up at the top is Denzel Washington. Hasn't he ever seen The Equalizer?
Schumer.
Pictures with
Dick Durbin.
Look at this. I mean, he served in the Senate with both of them for years.
And he can't recognize them. Let's hear from our sponsor real quick. But first, Medicare premiums are set to rise next year, and many Medicare Advantage plans are disappearing altogether. It's overwhelming, but luckily Chapter's here to help. One of you wrote this to me just last night. Doug, you saved me. I called Chapter, and wonderful, wonderful people. And it was the best thing I ever did. I thank you so much. And you're the best. And you're right about everything. I haven't had one single complaint about people who've called Chapter. And that's important to me. This is why I've partnered with Chapter. You can trust them to review every plan nationwide and recommend what actually fits your needs. On average, they've saved seniors in my audience $1,100, and the call is totally free. For unbiased Medicare help, dial 631-961-8696. That's 631-961-8696. Tell them Doug in Exile sent you. And now back to the auto pen scandal. We're going to get to this. Look at this. He had to have on a speech card, Joe Biden had to have a card with a picture of Chuck Schumer and Dick Durbin, people who Biden worked with forever, and he can't recognize him. He needs a cue card. That shows how bad the cover-up was. It's worse than any of us thought. I can't even imagine this, that he wouldn't be able to recognize Chuck Schumer. He needs a cue card to go, who are you? Oh, it's Chuck Schumer. I have the picture here.
So how can he, why do they even need the, it's almost like it's a given. He should know these people. Normally they give these to, grieving families that they don't know backgrounds, or, for example, journalists they didn't know they're from a small market or something like this, dignitaries, but people that you served with for decades. You don't think you need a note card on.
Right. But
you know who I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the note card. They're going to uncover a note card of Joe Biden. It's going to say Jill Biden on it and have a photograph of his own wife. That's the one that we're waiting for in Exile. Wait, but here's more. Here's shenanigans from Gavin Newsom on admitting that he wanted to give health insurance to illegal aliens.
A campaign on universal health care. We're delivering that. We are implementing our ideals. We are
implementing hand salad. It's time for hand salad, guys. Follow along with me. Get your hands out. We're going to get a little exercise.
Manifesting this principle, this fundamental notion that so many of us have been preaching for years and years and years. Universal health care for all, regardless of pre-existing condition, regardless of the ability to pay, and regardless of your immigration status. If you care not just about values and principles of morality, but if your only values and principles are advanced through economics, then that alone should be an argument in favor of universal health care, a pathway and a framework for 1.1 million undocumented residents in the state of California to avail themselves to high quality, comprehensive medical care, long-term, short-term, preventative as well.
Mezzanine term. This guy has so much word salad. I don't even get how he's considered a serious candidate for 2028. Now we're going to get to his tune in 2025. This is going to be hilarious. Watch.
As in-home support service care and coverage.
Now, Newsom says California is facing a $12 billion deficit. Governor is proposing freezing enrollment in state-funded health care for undocumented immigrants.
Undocumented immigrants. You thought you were getting health care until he got a $12 billion deficit opposite. And then it's like, illegal immigrant who? Jose who? These people are using, Democrats don't just use all the identity politics, women, LGBTQ, minorities, but they even use illegal aliens that they claim to be for, and it's so unethical for Trump to do this to him. Gavin, he threw him under the bus as soon as the budget's not there. They're like, illegal who? Who are you? Pick our fruit. Clean my house. But wait, this is more on our government madness, not government madness, but university madness. This is just awful. I hope you're not eating. This is from Harvard, about Harvard. This is an actual headline. Harvard hires a drag queen named Lahore Vagistan as visiting professor. There you go. That's the highest name in education in America is Harvard. Hired, okay, we're going to get a look at her. Oh man, this is awful. Lahore Vagistan. The next time someone sounds impressed about a Harvard affiliation, let them know about today's Harvard. This clown is teaching 2 useless courses, but by handing out A's like candy, it'll puff up GPAs of leftist Harvard kids applying to med school and law schools. Harvard's name is in the dirt. I only want to know that all I can say is look for Lahore Vagistan. If there is such a place as Vagistan, they would be throwing a straight like me off the roof in Vagistan. Wait, the madness continues. Here's these famous actors here, Billie Eilish and the guy in Fantastic Four and The Mandalorian. More than 550 actors, directors, writers, musicians have teamed up to relaunch the Committee for the First Amendment, a group originally formed in 1947 during the Big Red Scare. I just want to say, these are actors, and actors are paid to pretend to care. So who better to pretend to care about the First Amendment than 550 Hollywood actors? Moving on, here's Trump with his announcement with Russell Vogt that they're going to fire a whole bunch of Democrats during the shutdown.
President is up and posting to Truth Social, including this from earlier. Quote, I have a meeting today with Russ Vogt, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. And federal offices have put up out of office replies blaming the, quote, radical left, even in the White House press office. The emails to that office are answered with this. Due to staff shortages resulting from the Democrat shutdown, the typical 24/7 monitoring of this press inbox may experience delays.
Trump is just gouging them, just mocking them. They're going to keep threatening more and more layoffs until Democrats get the message that they just stepped into a massive honey trap and they got caught. It's going to backfire on them hugely. And I love the start of that first quote. He goes, Russ Vogt of Project 2025 fame. Remember, Project 2025 is the made up scare tactic that the Democrats ran with over and over again, going, we're going to get hit with Project 2025. So Trump is just grinding salt in their wounds, going, Russell Vogt of Project 2025 fame, and Trump never even heard of Project 2025. He's only doing it to bug Democrats, and that is brilliant. Here's Catherine Herridge, one of my favorite journalists. She says platforms like X can help rebuild trust of journalism. Because of Elon Musk, it's where the news is, which we've been saying for over a year now. Brand new Gallup poll. This must be fixed to have a more robust democracy. And the only one who can fix this absolute collapse in media trust is, wait for it, the media. By the way, Democrat trust is also tied for the all-time low. Lack of confidence is bipartisan. In fact, I would say the media is not trusted by people because they're run by Democrats, and Democrats are not trusted by people. There's kind of this, correlation, which may not be causation. I don't know what caused what. Did Democrats ruin media, or did media ruin the Democrats? Because both of them are liars. Trust in media, a new low of 28% in the US. By the way, this is good for me, for Doug in Exile, because you guys wouldn't be here if news worked elsewhere. If you could get the truth somewhere, If you could get decent coverage by people that were just going to bring you facts about Trump and the administration and Republicans and the fight, I wouldn't be needed. My career blew up because the Democrats and mainstream media destroyed their own credibility by lying. Republicans' confidence in mass media to report news fully, accurately, and fairly is now at 8%, 28% from everybody. It's down to 8% by Republicans. Holy smokes. Thank you, Elon Musk. Here's rapid response. This is part of the media here. New Hampshire National Guard soldiers are working without pay right now due to the destructive government shutdown. New Hampshire Senator Sheehan voted for it. So this is going to go into who's to blame. These are our furloughed or laid off National Guardsmen. And just remember, this was done by Democrats.
As for the New Hampshire National Guard, they expect to furlough about 325 federal civilian employees. Around 500 full-time soldiers and airmen still need to report to work throughout the shutdown, but they won't be getting paid. These essential workers include peace firefighters and air traffic controllers.
Oh, firefighters and air traffic. First of all, I don't believe this. I think this is part of the fake news. I don't know. I would love to hear from anyone in my audience, and I'm telling the truth. I really want to hear from you. Have you been affected yet by a layoff? Did you get a warning or an email? A check didn't come. You lost a job. You didn't get paid. I want to hear stories from you, if for no other reason than to blame the Democrats for them not agreeing, not voting to fund you. If you are affected by the shutdown, I'm not here to say, hey, the shutdown, it did nothing. I want to hear how it affects you. And if it hasn't affected any of you, why do I have an audience of 500,000 people and no one got hit with a government shutdown? This is going to be Jim Jordan on this one, specifying what the government shut down, how Republicans and normies, a couple of Democrats actually supported the vote to pay to keep the government open.
What I think is you got the House Freedom Caucus, you got the Main Street Republicans, you got the Republican Study Committee, you got House leadership, you got Senate leadership, and you got 3 Democrats in the Senate who all voted to keep the government open.
We're going to keep praising John Fetterman for being one of those 3 Democrats to keep the government open. They need 5 more votes to vote to reopen the government. 5 more Democrat votes.
Chuck Schumer won't do it. Everyone knows the common sense thing to do here is to fund the government. And then you can have a debate on all kinds of things over the next several months as we move into the new calendar year. That's how it should work. Everyone gets that, except it seems the leadership in the House for the Democrats and the leadership in the Senate for the Democrats.
And the CNN that you're talking to right now, those Democrats, they don't get it either. They're still pushing this thing. Here's Mercedes Schlapp on the shutdown. She posted this on Twitter.
Times poll just came out saying overwhelmingly Americans say Democrats should not shut down the government. That's 65%.
The House Republicans passed the budget.
It's the first time in a long time that they're actually blaming the Democrats for the shutdown.
You know how
not the
bad you have to be
because they're trying to give money to benefit illegal.
Democrats to get blamed.
So the branding went through. It made it out to the public. This is good news. We want this to continue. Okay. It's important that we keep dominating this news cycle, and it is working. Here's more on this is from Fox News' Chad Pergram. Democrats are bracing for mass firings. That's the Trump threat that he tweeted earlier.
Is there any movement?
Dana, good morning. No, but Democrats are bracing for mass firings across government. Democrats from New York and New Jersey are seething that the Trump administration postponed work on the Cross Harbor Tunnel and the 2nd Avenue subway in New York City.
Democrats are angry. They're getting fired because Democrats wouldn't vote to fund them. I love it. That's a self-inflicted wound. You hoisted yourself on your own petard.
He's telling federal employees, that's a nice job you have there. It would be a shame if something had to happen to it. He's saying the same about Gateway and the 2nd Avenue subway. That is not the behavior of a president. That's the behavior of a mobster.
Yeah. What's it feel like to finally play hardball with a Republican who's effective? Democrats aren't used to that. They're not used to having a Republican like Trump play a little bit like a mobster. Democrats are used to being the only mobster in the room. And they're used to having Republicans and rhinos roll over in front of them. Here's Matt Gaetz.
Geography element to this, where in the states that make large contributions to the federal workforce, you might find more reasonable Democrats who don't want to hold the entire government hostage for health care for illegal aliens?
I certainly would think as Russ Vought has indicated that additional RIFs are going to be announced starting in, very soon, that those senators and congressmen representing states where federal workforce is concentrated have a lot to think about in terms of their continued support of the Democrat holdout.
Yeah, we're going to keep firing Democrats is the good news. I'd like to thank Matt Gaetz from OAN for that. This is the universe healing, guys. This is the universe healing. The Democrats are being held account to their own actions. Remember, they're the ones that would not vote to fund the government. So now we're going to go deep into Democrat blue states and start firing federal workers. And those Democrats are going to turn on Democrat leadership. And that's the good news. I hope you guys have subscribed. I'd love to hear from you. Do you think this is going to work? Could it backfire on Republicans? It's important to me to hear what you think. This is a two-way communication, guys. I'm not just putting on a show. You're part of the show. I love hearing from you, my In Exile audience. It's important to me. So reach out and let me know that you're there. Let me know what you think. I'm Doug in Exile and call chapter.